It's a terrible football show, all right?
I want whatever you guys are smoking right now.
Come on, Shane. OH. OH.
Oh, baby, yeah. Shane, I swear to God.
Welcome to a terrible football show.
That's my quarterback and my teammate, man.
Ruins my fucking holiday every damn year.
Alex,
What up?
you can thoroughly kiss my ass.
Why not let us decide the top four?
Yeah, let a terrible football show
Let a terrible
decide the top
football
four.
show.
Fuck you, Shane.
Roll Tide. Have a good one, guys.
Oh,
Have a good one.
Oh, yeah, he's got to go. Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
You know, I like that Baker Mayfield and myself, man. He was baking up there in the Browns, and it just turned into a big old shit pile. So
Get that right. I will fly you out and take you to a game in Dallas of your fucking choice.
Oh, shit. Yeah, he's successful at just giving his terrible opinions, so why can't I? It's a terrible football show after all. Welcome to a terrible football show, episode 77. Episode 77 of Oxlight with Sparky 3. Hope you're having a phenomenal day today, whether if you're watching this live alongside us, watch that fact, let's have fact, whatever. We appreciate the absolute hell of you. We don't have a full barn here today, but we do have someone in the barn with me, and that's Ricky is back for, I think, the second week in a row, right?
second week in a row, yep. Daughter's team fell short last Tuesday. Hopefully they'll get a win tonight, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, hopefully. Jacob is currently out sick. Never mind, his message. Well, up there it is. My time has come. I pulled up his message here for the stream that he put in Discord. He is currently sick, so big T's and P's there. And I believe Shane is currently busy with work. Shane recently started a new venture with a friend with a food truck, that's awesome. I'm going to have to figure out where they've got that food truck at, and I'm going to have to go check it out.
Now, what's it called?
I forgot what he told me it was. I think it's Mexican food. I could be wrong.
I think I know who. Who's the friend? That
I see. I don't remember the friend's name either.
I think I know who.
Well, he may not even told me the friend's name. He just told me a buddy of his. But either way, Shane started a new venture with that, and I really want to try it.
I might have to look that up and find out.
I'm gonna have to figure out where it is and give it a shot. But I know Shane's gonna try to maybe get off early on Tuesdays for the show. But Shane could be missing from a few episodes for the next few weeks while they kind of get all the kinks worked out, get some more people in the truck and stuff. So. We'll see Shane when he sees him. If he pops in, great. If he doesn't, maybe we'll see him next week. But you will not see me next week. I am going to be in Florida. That's not true. I'll still pop in. As long as the show happens, like I'll pop in and I'll talk my shit like I have in the intro where I just popped in, said roll tide and walked out. So if I've got time, I'll for sure pop into the show just to say hello. But other than that, I won't be here, but still make sure to come by the show, hang out with the boys, whoever's going to be here. It should be Ricky and Jacob. Zach, my guy Zach, will be hosting the show for me from his place, holding it down like he does with Gamesthetic for me whenever I can't be there for that one. So, yeah, make sure to come to the show next week. So one little tidbit for today that's only relevant within this episode's release window. Right now until Sunday, you can go on Rogue Energy and use promo code 50CAN to get 50% off the Rogue cans. Just make sure to use our referral link, and you're going to support the brand. That's all that matters. But yeah, I did buy a couple 12-packs today. That black cherry lemonade is to die for. So
send me the flavors you've tried. I want to try these flavors
of all the Rogue stuff.
Yes, because
okay.
I mean it's like
I've tried almost everything at this point.
Because I mean it's like I said, I typically don't. And listen, it's all due respect to Rogue Energy and anybody else, but I have work that has their own energy brands, and so it is conflicting. I'm one of those. I usually don't bring non-Pepsi products in my house, but I will take this for an exception because of a terrible football show.
Got to support the brand.
Only because of a terrible football show.
Got to support the
if
brand,
they had nothing to do with the terrible football show, get
them out of here. Got to get them out of here.
But I got to try this because you keep telling me about this black cherry lemonade.
Oh,
I'm like,
it's so
and
good.
Every time you mention it, I'm like, I got to get me some. But I definitely got to get me some.
Well, when do you think you might come to studio next? Yeah.
Probably here in a couple of weeks. She's playing from now.
Well,
she's playing from now through.
So if you come back to the studio on, let's see, what was it? What's the day? What's the
now,
day?
The
10th. If you come here on the 10th, I got you.
Yeah,
I'll give you a can.
The 10th, okay, yeah, I should be. Yeah, she does play on the 10th. Now next Tuesday, I will be, drum roll. Well, I'm supposed to be in Springdale, so we'll see. Hopefully the hotel Wi-Fi is better than what the last hotel Wi-Fi I went to was.
Man, I hope so, because if that's the case, the show might not happen next week. Show may not happen next week. We'll see.
We'll see. Hopefully it will. Hopefully it will, because I think...
Can always bring your box.
The last hotel I stayed in Springdale, the Wi-Fi was pretty good.
Can always bring your box.
Hey, and it might get better signal up there, so yeah, I might do that.
You might want to bring your box. Yeah,
I'm bringing my box just in case.
Do that.
Definitely gonna do that.
Yeah. We got Steve here in chat. Hey, got a haircut? Yeah, man. Got to stay fresh for vacation. You know
I need a haircut. The last time I had a haircut was vacation.
I should have gotten one like a month ago, and I told my stylist that. I was like, I know I should have been in here like a month ago. I've been so damn busy. I'm sorry. Because like last week, for example, I would get home. I would be home for maybe 5-10 minutes. I'd be out the door again. Very, very busy. Did make a trip up to Fort Smith on Friday. Watched the Bryant-Fort Smith game. Complete and utter beatdown.
Yeah, but it should have been.
Complete and utter beatdown.
Northside's horrible.
Complete and utter beatdown.
You would have had a better game with Southside than what you would have Northside. Northside's just gone downhill in the last couple of years. They're bad.
Yeah, the ladies' brother got some good plays in the game. Got a sack. Got a few other things going on. Good. So shout out to him on that. You know, it's funny though, when we were walking up to the stadium, I called the game immediately. Like, oh, this is about to be a smash fest for the dumbest reason in the world. They do like the intercom thing, you know, saying about the sponsors and stuff. It was just like, and special thanks to Hardee's because they catered for the entire team. Like, I was like, the Fort Smith team ate Hardee's. Oh, this is over. This is over.
So
Hardee's is disgusting. All right,
well, see, that's the thing. It's funny you say that because, see, our football team, when I was in high school, they used to go to Western Sizzling every Friday. Like, they lived and died by Western Sizzling. And I'm like, but they would go early, like at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yep.
That way it gave it time to digest, that way by the time they went and warmed up, they're ready to go. They've got all their energy.
Yep.
All the carbs are going to be burned out, things like that. But Hardee's, come on, people.
Yep.
Come on, Northside. Y'all can do better than that.
Hardee's. Yes, Steve, my stylist. I've had a stylist since I ever started doing stuff with my hair. I've always tried to find one particular person to handle my hair. I had one person for a while, and they actually had to step away from doing anything with hair at completely. I don't remember what they had, but they had basically something that makes them lose all function in their hands, completely. Their hands will go paralyzed. So they had to completely just retire. But now one of my friends that I've known for a long time is the one that currently does my hair. So yes, a stylist. But yeah, Hardee's equals mud butt. Correct. Hardee's is disgusting. So as soon as I heard that, I'm just
ours in Pine Bluff burnt down. I don't miss it.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's a good thing for the community.
Now I will say this much: they do have decent breakfast. Decent.
Okay.
I'd still rather have McDonald's or somewhere else, but no,
I think let me say something about McDonald's that me and my lady say all the time when it comes to McDonald's. Even a bad McDonald's meal is still fucking delicious.
It really is.
I told her recently that if you ever have a McDonald's meal where it's bad and it's legitimately bad and disgusting, that particular McDonald's needs to close down.
Yep.
Because even a bad McDonald's meal is still if it's been sitting there a little bit, it's still good. I'm sorry, good. It is. Yep. It is. Steve says nothing. It says false. Nothing is decent in Hardee's. Breakfast is sometimes okay, but Hardee's,
especially their biscuits. Their biscuits are pretty good. But
it's just
anybody
so
can make a good biscuit.
Greasy and heavy, and it's just disgusting.
That is true. I will give you that much.
Oh my god,
I will give you that much. There is a reason the one in Bryant shut down. There is a reason people don't like it.
It's fucking gross, man. But anyway, we're not here to talk about food. We're here to talk about football, and I'm here to scorch some earth. All right?
Okay. Oh, wait. Before, hey, just tease a piece out to Jacob. But don't you worry, Jacob. I will bash the Cowboys for you. My man, get better. Yep. But I'm gonna let Alex have the floor for it because you let me frustrate myself so much. I'm just ready to see your frustration,
man.
Because let's think it. Let's put it this way. I still have a little bit of hope. Your turn.
Yeah. So, man. So basically, of course, the biggest headline out of sports right now. Well, it's Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, which I fucking hate. That's the biggest headline right now. But when I said that as a joke weeks ago, I meant it as a joke. I didn't think it was gonna. Whatever. Either way.
Are you saying that Taylor Swift was the reason why Chicago lost the other day?
No, I'm not. There's a lot of reasons why we lost. But yes, in terms of talking actual sports here, not a relationship. I would argue that the Bears is currently, as of going into week 4, the biggest headline of professional football. All right, I would argue that because of that and the Dolphins. Jesus Christ, the Dolphins.
Yeah.
But no, and I'm a Bears fan. I got the stuff behind me. Bears fan, have been a Bears fan my whole life. And one thing that I said all off season, and I've said it privately, I've said it publicly here on the show, is that coming into this year, the Bears were in such a great situation. $125 million to spend in free agency. Potential franchise quarterback, number 1 overall pick you don't have to spend on a quarterback. You had 10-plus picks in the draft. Like, we had a golden egg. Like, it didn't matter if we sucked last year. That didn't matter. What mattered was this year. And while I said in our predictions that I thought 10 wins was possible for the Bears, I stood by that. And I stood by that for a reason because of how the team looked last year. I understand we were 3-14, but I've got my full spill up here on this team. All right, and let me go through it. Number 1, the Bears are the new Lions. Here's how I feel on this.
Very, very interesting.
Here's how I feel on this. 2022, we only had 3 wins. It was the 49ers and the Pats. 49ers, you can kind of wash that one off because that was a freaking monsoon up in Chicago. The Pats was a very random, unexpected victory. We beat the Texans. All right, so those are all like, what the Pats is the only question mark one, right? But let's go through some games that we lost. All right, I'm not going to go through every single one because obviously some of those games we lost, we got our shit wrecked, okay? But let's go through multiple games that we lost, and let's look at these games. Week 4, New York Giants. New York Giants, who made the playoffs, got Coach of the Year. We lost 20-12. We were competitive in that game. Week 5, Minnesota, 29-22. We were competitive in that game. Week 9 against freaking Miami. We just saw what they did, right? 35-32. We were competitive in that game. That was the game where Mike McDaniel literally went up to Justin Fields in the sideline and said, hey, can you please stop running? And he even said in the post presser, he's like, yeah, I asked him if he'd stop running, and he just wouldn't. Really made me mad. Love Mike McDaniel so much. Week 11 against Atlanta, 27-24, competitive. Week 13 against Green Bay, 28-19. We were competitive in that. Week 15 against the future Super Bowl visiting Eagles, 25-20. We were competitive in this. The Buffalo, it was 10-6 in favor of the Bears at the end of the first half, and then it fell apart from there, went 35-13, but we were competitive the first half. And then the torch was passed from the Lions to the Bears in week 17 when we got our shit wrecked 41-10. And then week 18, we also got dismantled by Minnesota 29-13. That week 17 loss to the Lions was the Lions passing the torch on to us. Like, hey, we've got a coach. We've got a quarterback who knows what he's doing with Jared Goff. We've got a lot of young talent. We're the brand new Lions. Here's the torch of being the worst run franchise in professional football. Congratulations and good luck, Chicago. That's what happened last year. So, like, coming into this year, like, I didn't expect a Super Bowl bound, okay? Based on the weakness of the NFC, I thought playoffs were possible because, again, our schedule favored us. Because you look at how competitive that we were with a shit team last year and the improvements that we made this year, and you're going to tell me that 10 wins couldn't have been possible with our weak-ass schedule? And now we're 0-3 to start. But here's the thing about our 0-3. We're not fucking competitive. Like the Green Bay game, the first half, it was like, what, 10-6 in favor of Green Bay, okay? But, like, both teams looked horrible. Green Bay came alive the second half. I understand it was a close game score-wise with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but that game was not as close as the score said. The Bucs beat us by a mile because look at the time possession that the Bucs had. We ran the same fucking play 4 times, the same screen 4 times, threw a pick in the red zone, our own red zone, for another touchdown to get them even further ahead. It's embarrassing. And that was also the game, Green Bay, we threw 2 targets to our essentially number 1 overall pick, if you want to look at that way, of DJ Moore. Like Matt Eberflus is 3-17 to start. He is on a 13-game losing streak, and this is the worst start of any head coach in Bears history in a 20-game stretch. This is worse than Mark Trestman. Mark Trestman was a dumpster fire, but at least year 1, the offense looked somewhat capable, and we went 8-8. 3-14, 0-3, and we are getting blown out. We are not competitive. But here's the thing that's even more frustrating about how bad we look. Okay, I understand like some shit happened with, the defense coordinator. Trust me, I'm going to get there. But nothing about this team looks good. That's the problem. The offense has no idea what they're doing. It's not competitive at all. And for a defensive-minded head coach, a former defense coordinator who was actually pretty good in Indianapolis, your defense looks like garbage. We have potentially the worst D-line in Bears history. Secondary, can't completely put that on them. Kyler Gordon went down with injury. Eddie Jackson went down with injury. Linebacking core is doing their damn best. But, like, you know, we've had teams put in third down 45 times. They've converted 27 times. That's horrible. Mm-hmm. That is horrible.
I think it's the worst in the NFL.
It is. Like, this team, top to bottom, is abysmal. Like, and it's a head coach who's in over his head. If it'd be one thing if it was like clearly like just Justin Fields like just not being the guy, you know what I mean? But when you have your entire team that looks like dog shit, it's not on Justin Fields. Okay, it's just not. You know, but here's the thing about Justin. Unfortunately, he's not going to be our guy. We broke this dude up front. We have broken this kid. He is not going to be our guy. I'm not saying that he's a bust like I personally thought Trubisky was from day one. I still think Justin can be a guy. It just will not be in Chicago. Like, you know, when it comes to the Trubisky thing, I've seen Bears fans try to argue it on Twitter where it's like, well, Trubisky had a winning record. He went to a Pro Bowl. We went 12-4. We went 12-4 because our defense was unfucking believable, and Mitch did just enough, just like Rex Grossman did in 2006. Trubisky went to a Pro Bowl that year, yes, but he was like a third or fourth fucking alternate for the NFC. That's not really like a big, like, good job, you did great. No one wanted to fucking go to the Pro Bowl.
No, well, the Pro Bowl's a joke anyway.
And, you know, while he has a winning record, sure, like, I find impressive, you know, that we had a winning record through Matt Nagy's tenure. Just shout out to the defense for being really good. You know, it wasn't like, you know, Brian Urlacher, Lance Briggs era of good, but it was still really good. But, like, the comparison of Justin and Mitch, man, like I've said this before, and I'll continue to say it every single year. When you have a guy in the college being hyped up as this top pro prospect, and let's say he only started 1 year and he's got other years in college, you have to ask, why did he only start 1 year? Okay. In Mitch's case, he was beat out by a guy named Marquise Williams. Does anyone know who he is? No. Unless you just really know football, because I happen to know who he is. Why did Mac Jones only start 1 year? Okay, he had Tua and he had Jalen above him. That makes fucking sense.
Yep.
So, like, when a guy only plays 1 year, you have to understand, like, you have to ask, why do you start 1 year? Justin Fields is a proven dude. He's done it in college. And I understand college and pro is very different, but he's proven that he can play. He's proven that he can look like a superstar, right? When it comes to Chicago, like, I see a lot of people, like, are defending Fields, saying that the franchise broke him. I'm in that boat. I see other people, like, completely criticizing Fields. Fields is right to be criticized because he's still not playing his game. If you watch tape, you watch what Fields is doing, you see where he sees an open dude, and because like Fields has a tendency to tap the ball before he throws. You will see him tap the ball, go to throw, but not throw. You know, he sees the things, but it's like the coaching, he's let the coaching get too far in his head. Is that on Luke Getsy? I say yes. Is that on Eberflus? I say yes. Whoever the quarterback coach is in Chicago, I forgot who it is. It's on them too. Like, I mean, we as an organization have failed Justin Fields. And he's not going to be our guy, okay? If we lose this weekend to Denver, I know it's week 4, but goddamn, man, it feels like week 12. If we lose to Denver, who is atrocious, no offense, Shane, they're horrible. Sean Payton's washed up, go back to the booth. Russell Wilson's washed up, his career is done. Broncos look horrible. If we lose to Denver, it's done. It needs to be done. But here's the biggest problem, though. We're stuck. We're stuck. The Bears have not once in franchise history fired a coach midseason.
It's probably going to happen this year.
I hope, but like I just don't like. It's
long. I'll put it this way: if he goes 0-4, 0-5, they need to can him like now.
They do, but here's my problem though. In my opinion, everyone needs to get canned. Ryan Poles is just as fault for this. You know, you can theorize all you want. It's tough to decide what's true and what's not in terms of this pairing, because obviously the McCaskies were already doing interviews for coaches and stuff before Poles were hired. Then Poles came in and he got all the candidates, and he claims he had the opportunity to meet other candidates, and he's like, I didn't need to. I met Matt, and Matt sold me. So let's say hypothetically that is true, and Ryan Poles could have hired anyone else and could have interviewed anyone else, and he didn't, and he chose Matt Eberflus. Ryan Poles is at fault, just like Ryan Poles is at fault for numerous other decisions. Okay, like you made some good calls with like Tremaine Edmonds. That's great. TJ Edwards, he's panning out well. That's great. Had some good picks with Brisker, Kyler Gordon. That's great. Okay, what's going on with Nate Davis? That's a miss there. What's going on with that, that 26-year-old rookie receiver, Volus Jones, you drafted last year? What happened with that? When you had other receivers on the board. Now I still stand by where I felt during draft time, but now you look at it where you trade down, you get Darnell Wright, who looks pretty good, but then you could have got Jalen Carter. Again, I stand by how I felt during. I'm not going to say we should have gotten him. I stand by where I was. It's stack it up. You spent all this money, and we have a less competitive team than I think we've ever had in my time of being a Bears fan. My entire life of being a Bears fan, I have never felt so dead and empty on the inside about being a Bears fan like I do right now, because of and it's really because of the golden egg that we had, and it's been completely fucked up. And when it comes to that golden egg, I've said it before, I'll say it again. If the Bears have fucked this up, I don't know if I can forgive the organization for that, because dude, you were in too good of a fucking situation, and we fuck it up in every way possible. When it comes to polls getting canned too, in my opinion, I mean, look, he hired Matt Eberflus. Matt Eberflus hired Alan Williams. It's a giant shit show. There was $100,000 fucking worth of equipment stolen from Bears property this week. How the fuck does that happen? Jesus Christ, who managed to pull that one off? Shout out to you. You're a fucking genius. This regime is dead. That's there is nothing that can save this regime, in my opinion. Start over, because also one thing that that gives me the slightest sliver of hope going into the next regime is that I just pray to God that the McCaskies will back the fuck off for once and let the people you have in place do the football decisions. Okay, because the way the Bears hired was this: hired GM Ryan Poles, hired head coach Matt Eberflus, hired team president and head of football operations Kevin Warren. The complete back-ass order. You know what I mean? We've had a dumbass fucking president as our president since 2001 with whatever the hell that idiot's name was. He was good on the business side of things, like money and shit like that, for just general team stuff, not the actual team itself. But I mean, in organization state, because I mean, hell, he's the one that really helped set us up to help get us the new stadium that we're building. He's good on that side of the business. But the football side of the business, the dude had no idea. Ted Phillips, he had no idea what he was doing. Now you have a football guy in place to be team president, head of football operations with Kevin Warren. A football-minded guy. He needs to be the one to make all the decisions. If we fire Poles, if we fire Matt Eberflus, and I hear this fucking dumb shit that I've heard twice now of George McCaskey being directly involved, and he's reaching out to people, like Bill Parcells and stuff like that, getting advice, I'm going to fucking throw up. Because we've already done this shit and it's not going anywhere. If I fucking hear Matt Eberflus talk about trust the process one more fucking time, I'm going to throw the fuck up. There's no fucking process to trust. This team is a literal dumpster fire. We have squandered everything that this team had. Potential franchise quarterback, number 1 overall pick with a potential franchise quarterback, 10 plus draft picks, $100+ million spent, and the team just looks worse. This regime is a complete and utter failure. And my last little tidbit on this, everyone is saying, oh, if we lose week 4, it's time to tank. It's time to tank. Man, I'll be honest with you. Number 1, when it comes to these top quarterbacks, we've already discussed this last week. Shedeur Sanders, he's going back to the college. We already know that. I'm not sold on Drake May as a top quarterback in the pros. Caleb Williams, he could potentially go back to the college. Why would you come to the pros to a team like the Bears or the Cardinals when you can make just as much money as a college quarterback? And the thing is, if let's say whoever comes out, let's say it's Caleb and Drake, and even by some miracle, Shedeur, he comes out as well. I truly believe if the Bears have the first pick, whatever quarterback's coming out, they could and should pull an Eli or an Elway and refuse to play for Chicago. I'm just being real. This is an embarrassing, most dysfunctional franchise I've seen in a while. I thought the Lions were bad. I thought the Browns were bad. I thought that brief stint with there was a good year stretch with Jacksonville where they were that bad. Now, Shad's kind of letting his son kind of run stuff for the Jaguars because his son's running great business for AEW, and now he's letting his son do more with the Jags. Shout out to that. The Jags kind of getting on board, getting on pace with how they're running an organization well. The way that I feel right now about how the Bears are, dude, is literally light years worse than how I felt when Urban was the Jags head coach. And that was just a single fucking year. That was a 13-game stretch that felt like 7 years. Right now, with how bad this Bears team look, man, it's embarrassing to be a Bears fan. Like I hate my life right now. Like I'm ready for the season to be done. I don't give a single fuck how the rest of this season plays out. Like, because none of the players give a shit. You can tell. I saw a lot of comments from people on. All right, you gotta stop showing me that. You gotta stop showing me that. I keep getting a pop up for that camera. I guess that camera over there is popping on and off the one pointing to the couch, and I keep getting the pop ups like there was a new mic detected. I'm like, leave me the fuck alone. We don't need it. It's fine. I'm not using that camera. But man, it's embarrassing. I saw a lot of people on Twitter that went to the game, and everyone's like, that was a fucking mistake. And there was just no energy on the sideline, like zero energy. And, and to further, give proof that this head coach is completely incompetent at being a head coach and has no fucking idea what he's doing. I'm sure a lot of people have seen it by now, but there was a video that came out from like the last however much of the fourth quarter of the game of where DJ Moore was literally like pulling Fields and trying to get him off the field because of how wobbly Fields was, because he took some pretty nasty hits. And like, I understand that it's important to not completely throw in the towel even in trash time like that. Like, you're losing 41-6, like don't completely throw in the towel. Let's keep getting reps. But like, you have your quarterback who's like legitimately hurt and you're not going to win. Like, why the fuck is Fields still in the game? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, you have your top receiver literally trying to pull him off the field because he can't freaking stand straight. It's almost like how the Dolphins handled Tua last year, It's like Matt Eberflus, like, he's a dumpster fire of a head coach. He's not as like hateable as Matt Nagy, so shout out to that. Matt Nagy, I fucking could not stand that pompous piece of shit. So Matt Eberflus at least seems like a nice guy. He's just an incompetent head coach. He has no idea what the fuck he's doing. He needs to be the first Bears head coach in history to get fired before the season's over. I just fear it's not going to happen as long, because the McCaskies are all about family. It's a family environment, and it's just like, dude, fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. We're the laughingstock of the NFL. Like, you were in the same division with the laughingstock of the NFL for like literally like the entire history of the NFL. And now we're the laughing. Now we're the Lions. It's no longer, you could be the Lions, you could be the Browns. No, it's now you could be the Bears. Like, that's what it is now. It's a complete embarrassment. Everyone needs to get fired. And you know what? The Bears need to get kicked out of the NFL and go to the XFL. Like, bring up the St. Louis Battlehawks or something. Like, it's done. It's done. The Bears are done. The season's done. I don't give a shit. I got college going for me. Shout out to the Canes. Shout out to the Bows. They got a big win this weekend. Braden Traeger's like 4th in the nation in passing yards. So shout out to that. I don't give a fuck about pro right now. Like, the Jags had a fucking stupid loss against the Texans. CJ Stroud looks incredible. Shout out to CJ Stroud. I love to see it. Fuck the pros. I don't give a fuck about NFL right now. I'm done with the fucking season. This shit pisses me the fuck off. I have never been so depressed and upset with my team like I have been these past few days.
So,
I got to get a drink of water.
While you're getting a drink of water, yeah, you've got every right as a fan, especially as a historical. That's the thing with Chicago, is they have so much history behind being one of the best defenses in history.
Facts.
And you mentioned it, they're not good on either side of the ball.
That's the problem. Like, even special teams is mid as shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, there you go, right there. They're not good on any single part of it whatsoever. And the thing about it is, though, and I'm just going to go ahead and you've already said it. Chicago needs to start over, start completely over, get rid of all
scorched earth.
Hey, seriously, trade some of and this is what they could do. DJ Moore still has some trade value. David Montgomery still has some trade.
No, he's gone. He's Lions.
Is he with the Lions? That's right. He is with the Lions. For some reason, I thought he was still with you guys.
So now, in terms of offense, our only trade-worthy people would be DJ Moore, which we just got him. We won't trade him. Darnell Mooney could get traded.
Yeah.
Cole Kmet, we just re-signed him this offseason, but like, he has trade value. And then on terms of offensive line, we might could get like a 6th-round draft pick for Cody Whitehair, but that's it.
Your best bet at this point is to get rid of those big players, get as little bit of money as you possibly can. As I would take every single contract they have and have as little of payroll as possible and use it to invest in the future. That is the best possible route that the Bears have to go at this point. Because right now, the only way you can get any type of environment is if you get a new head coach. But you have to get a head coach that wants to come to Chicago. Who wants to come to Chicago at this point, knowing good and well of how the Chicago was ran, how management has ran Chicago?
Yep.
Who would want to do that? Who would want to come in and do that? The only guy that I can think of is basically a pariah in the NFL, and his name is John Gruden. And he ended up going to the Raiders, and, things happened where he's not with the Raiders anymore. But you look at it, the Raiders were very, very dysfunctional. He comes in, they were a little dysfunctional the first year, but you could start seeing those improvements he was making. And then that second year, you're like, this team might actually have something. And then he gets canned. So I'm just saying, you've got to find that guy who's willing to come in and say, all right, let's start over. But I don't know if there's anybody that's ever been a head coach in the NFL. I don't even know if Lovie Smith would want to do that at this point, considering that, the run that he had with the Bears years ago. But even then, I mean, it would be a smart move for the Bears to do, but I don't see that personally happening. But yes, they need to completely axe every plan that they have for this season and completely start all over. That's the best bet you're going to have for a future right now. Because right now they look horrible. The worst team in the National Football League. And I'm going to tell you this much. I know the Broncos lost by 50 this past weekend, but the Broncos look a little bit better than what the Bears do offensively. Now, defensively, they're both about the same. They're both absolutely terrible. But offensively, the Broncos are better offensively than what the Bears are. And that's the scary part because they're so horrible.
Yeah.
And I told you guys over the summer, I told you guys last year, I don't want Sean Payton anywhere near my Dallas Cowboys. Stay away from my Dallas Cowboys. I told you guys. And some of you guys were laughing at me. I'm like, come on, people.
He's washed up. No, he's washed up. No, and in terms of coaches, I've already seen one name immediately brought up all over Twitter. I've seen a couple names, but in terms of notable names, the biggest one that I've seen is give Jim Harbaugh a call once again. We called him before Matt Eberflus. He wasn't really interested. Give him a call again. That's he was drafted first round by the Bears, so he's got those connections. So. I've seen a lot of people say that. I've seen a lot of people say Kellen Moore, give him a call.
No.
I agree with you, but I've seen a lot of people say Kellen Moore. The big thing is, I think that upsets a lot of people is that they want to see another offensive-minded guy. I understand Matt Nagy was offensive-minded guy and it didn't work out and stuff. But I think people just want to see that offensive-minded guy. Why do we go a defensive coach when we're trying to develop a quarterback? Because obviously it just hasn't worked out at all. The thing that kills me as well, and this just goes through the history of, let's say, the last 10 years, is the McCaskies being so directly involved with the hiring and stuff. It's you have these other guys around the league that you have the option to interview, and you either don't bring them in the building at all, or you interview them once and move on. When we hired Mark Trestman, we interviewed Bruce Arians. What are we doing? This past hiring cycle for us, we didn't even call Mike McDaniel. Didn't even interview him, and we went with Matt Eberflus. Every candidate that we interviewed this past coaching process, I was horrified because none of this is promising. The most promising candidate was Dan Quinn, and it's just because he's been around the league so long, he's been an established head coach that I thought he could bring in the right people around him. But you got Jim Caldwell, you're pulling out of the woodworks. You had Matt Eberflus, Dan Quinn. I think there was another defense coordinator we interviewed. I don't remember who it was, though. We didn't hire Byron Leftwich, which ultimately I'm glad that never happened for Jags or the Bears. But it's just as long as the thing is about the Bears that sucks, as long as the McCaskies are running the organization, the Bears are going to be permanently fucked. I'm just saying it up front. They have no idea how to run the organization.
So it's time for someone to buy the Chicago Bears.
I mean, maybe
it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, though.
Maybe after Virginia dies, maybe the McCaskies might sell. But as long as she's still alive, they won't. Which I'm not wishing her death by any means. It's the daughter of George Halas. I'm just speaking realistically. But even then they may not sell it because again, the Bears are all about a family environment. That's what they're all about. So it'll probably stay with the McCaskies, and as long as George McCaskey is running this organization, it will be a dumpster fire. Up front, he's a fucking idiot. He doesn't know what the fuck. Besides the business stuff, like how they're working on stuff with the new stadium and everything like that, like he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing in terms of football operations.
Well, you can forget about getting Coach Prime because Coach Prime says that it's hard to motivate rich people.
Yeah, I know. He's never coming to the pros.
No.
You can throw the biggest bag in the world, and he will not. Which I think is good for him. I think that's good. Stay in college. There was a brief period in my life where I wanted to be a coach, and honestly, my dream to been a coach was actually just high school. That was the highest that I was going to want to go. So I kind of have a little bit of a sentiment there with Prime, where it's like you just want to kind of stay at that level. I can feel that.
Let a terrible football show coach your high school football team.
Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby.
We will take the worst. Golly, I saw probably the worst worst high school team I think I've ever seen in my life. Right now, they were horrible.
No, really,
they were so bad. Leland, Mississippi. Oh my gosh, they were horrible. I felt so bad for them. They were playing Lake Village, which a lot of people know as Lakeside, which is down in South Arkansas.
Yep.
This one kid from Lakeside started breakdancing, or a white hat flagged the guy for breakdance. I mean, it was just that they were beating them. The final score was like 40-something to 12, but it wasn't even. No, they scored 12 points because they let them score 12 points.
Yeah.
I'm just like, no, it was so bad. It's probably it's close. I've seen terrible high school football teams. They're on my list as one of the worst that I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. Northside was pretty bad too.
They're not as bad as Northside. I promise you that.
I believe you.
I promise you that.
Yeah, the Northside's very first offensive play was an interception, and then the quarterback for Northside went on to throw, I think, 3 or 4 more. Yeah. It was a rough night for Northside.
Yeah, Northside's in the highest classification in the state, though.
Yeah.
If they were probably a 3A, 4A team, they'd probably be all right. But even some of the 3 and 4A teams could probably beat them.
Yeah.
But either way, though, it just
But no, with the Bears though, I mean, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. Like I said, I'm done with this NFL season. I don't give a shit. The Bears can go on a 3-game run randomly, and it doesn't matter.
But see, that's the thing, though. It's like if they played up to their potential, a lot of their games that are coming up are very, very winnable football games.
That's the problem. Like if the Bears don't get a win in October,
Broncos
problems.
Yeah, Broncos, Commanders. The Vikings are great offensively. They suck defensively.
Yep.
Raiders. Now, the Chargers, that's probably going to be a loss.
Yeah.
The Saints is winnable. The Panthers is winnable. The Lions ain't winnable. But I'm just saying, you have winnable football games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of your next 7 games are very, very winnable games for the Bears. The thing is, though, they've already given up on that head coach. They're ready to move on from him. And I'm afraid it's the same way with the Denver Broncos. How in the world are you going to give up 70 points in an NFL football game?
And then you get the ultimate insult. Mike McDaniel not go for the record by kicking
like,
field goal.
It's like this. All right. So it's like this. I'm going to tell a story. My head coach, rest in peace. My head basketball coach used to coach where my daughter goes, Woodlawn. And one of the guys that I went to church with actually played for my coach. And he told me a story one time. They were playing this one school. I can't remember the name of the school. They don't exist anymore. But they were very, very good at basketball. Very, very good at basketball. Well, they were still pressing up by 30 points, which is the mercy rule in high school. And my coach sent the manager over there and said, hey, y'all might want to start backing off the press a little bit. You guys have already won the basketball game. Back off the press. Well, the coach, immediately sent the manager back, and the manager told him, he's like, hey, coach said he's just trying to get his team prepared for this tournament. It's like it's nothing personal or anything like that. And my head coach, and I quote, said, if you tell him, and I quote, if you don't back off the press right now, your boys ain't going to make it. My coach was ready to unleash on these guys. And the one thing that happened, one of the players, I'm not going to say which player it was, but one of the players undercutted this dude. Hit the ground. Slammed him hard to the ground. They backed off the press after that. So I'm just saying, I'm not saying go out and hurt people or anything like that. But there's no fighting you.
Yeah.
They gave up 700 yards of offense.
I know.
Who does that in the NFL? I mean, it is that bad.
Yeah, like there's no fight with the Broncos.
So
There's
I'm
no
just-
fight with the Bears.
So I'm just saying, you might be seeing a pretty high scoring contest because nobody gives
Like,
a shit.
look, I'm telling you, I fully expect the Bears to lose to the Broncos. And the thing
I do
is,
too.
like, if it's a blowout, I'm telling you, changes need to be made. And if they're not, we just further prove that we are, in fact, the brand new. We're the old Lions.
The one thing that will help is if people stop buying the tickets. When people stop buying tickets, but stop getting in seats, nobody makes any money. That's when stuff starts turning, and that's the only thing. That's the only way you're going to get any kind of change.
I mean, it's a home game against the Broncos, so we'll see the turnout. My buddy Andy did pop in chat. Andy, my beautiful friend, who I will be seeing here very soon down in Florida, asked, "Do you think Jay Cutler could have saved the rest of the season?" Hey, here's the thing. Listen,
Jake, he
hold
just
on.
said Jake Cutler.
Yeah, he did. Here's the thing. I am one of the very few Jay Cutler supporters and fans. But no, he couldn't have. Because like the team is too like it's a dysfunctional group. I will say, like, if Jay Cutler was on this team, on paper, this would be at least probably like the third or fourth best Bears team he's been on. You know what I mean? Like the two best was 2010 and 2012 when the Bears were legitimate like Super Bowl contenders. God, I miss those fucking days. But no, like I don't think anyone could be on this Bears.
No,
like
that's terrible.
The only sort of quarterbacks that could be on this Bears team right now and save the team is one of those like dicks out extreme like generals like a Tom Brady or a Peyton Manning where they're just like they're just gonna laugh Matt Eberflus out of the room. It's like, nah, I'm the coach. We're doing this. That would probably be the only sort of guys that could save this team. Because like I said, when it comes to Fields, he's buying into the coaching. I mean, he tried to backtrack on his comments, but there's no backtracking. He know what he meant. The
They've
damage
got to
is
let
done.
him loose. That's the thing. That's what makes you a great quarterback. The great quarterbacks were let loose. He has not been let loose yet.
No.
And that's the thing. You got to let him loose. Let him do his thing.
Just let him play. Let him play.
I mean, what do you got to lose at this point? You lost 38-20, 27-17, 41-10. And by the way, if you have a dream of going to an NFL football game, all you need to do is come up with $97 and you can go watch Russell Wilson play for the Denver Broncos this coming weekend.
Is that how much tickets are for the Bears game?
Hey, it gets worse. At Washington, $44.
All right.
$44.
All right.
And if you're in LA, at LA, the Chargers, which is coming up October 29th, $49. So I'm just saying it's cheap to go to a Chicago Bears game right now.
Man, it's such a painful time right now.
You pay 5-6 times just as much going to the Colorado Buffaloes game, game, and they won one game last year. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, dude. I'm telling you, if and when the Bears lose to the Broncos, and it's like not a close affair at all, and the team still looks
I found one
lifeless,
even lower.
like Eberflus needs to get fired. Like it's got to happen.
Oh my gosh, I found one even lower.
Is it the Panthers game?
No, it's if you are in the Cleveland area and you dream of seeing the Chicago Bears come into your town, all you need is a whopping $29.
Oh, buddy, man, we need to get a partnership going with like SeatGeek or something so we can actually.
Yes, we do.
We can really shout this out.
On behalf of a terrible football show, we're going to have a contest, and if you win, you can see the Chicago Bears play in Cleveland.
Yep.
Airfare, meals are not included.
Yep. One day we'll have a SeatGeek promotion. As of now, all we got is Rogue Energy and Agent Inc. Make sure to go buy a jersey. It looks sick.
Yep.
But yeah, use our referral links down below for both of those.
Oh, that's great. That's so funny.
All right. Well, I've got all my feelings out on the Bears. It's a terrible it's a terrible life. I fucking hate my life right now. I'm tired of football. I'm ready for the season to be over. So the Cowboys lost the Cardinals. So let's get that out of the way for you.
Yeah. So I mean, so here's my entire thing, and I think Jacob will agree.
Let me just start with this though.
Yes.
What the fuck are the Cardinals? Because they have like consistently played so much better. Continue.
Okay, so you know the whole dicks of the week that you have going here.
Yes.
My C is confusing, and I'm going to put that on there this week because Arizona, Houston, who basically wasted their season last year, are the one they're actually competing and they're winning. They beat some good football teams this past weekend. Houston beating Jacksonville. Shout out to that. I don't like that they beat Jacksonville because I'm really high on Trevor Lawrence, which Trevor Lawrence is good as us and just start playing. Anyways,
yeah, I agree.
It's the same story though because it's the same story because we knew we were going to run into a week where the defense was going to be tired. And that's really what it was. The defense was tired. They were banged up. Trevor Dick, he's out for the year. I hate that too, because that right there, it hurts. Even though we've got great defensive players, having Diggs out, it's going to hurt. But it's the same story. We need Dak Prescott to stand up, to step up and actually lead us to a victory, and he failed to do that. Here's the thing, though, Alex. The first 3 games have been the same story for the Bears. It's the same story for the Dallas Cowboys. Our defense is great. Our offense can't score in the red zone. And the last 3 games the first 3 games, in my opinion, they have been consistent with the exception of the defense did not play as well, but they played well enough for Dak Prescott to be able to throw all over the field. They've got to score in the red zone. And I don't think you're going to see this cold streak in the red zone continue. One of the biggest things with Dak right now, though, is the same thing with Justin Fields. He's more conservative now than what he is than ever because of the interceptions that he threw last season.
Yep.
Should he be? Yes, but at the same time, he's got to be that gunslinger that we know. He's got to be that gunslinger. When was it? Last year before last, when him and Atlanta were going back and forth, forth. That's the kind of guy that he needs. And at times he's going to have to play like that. That's just the thing. And he failed to do so. So I really believe he is in that little state where he's afraid to mess up. He's afraid to be himself.
Just like Fields.
Just like Justin Fields, except Dak's been in the league a lot longer than Justin Fields has.
Dak's been doing it for a while. What are we doing?
Right. And so so let's see here. I got to look. I think we play New England this week, in which if we lose to New England, they need to bench Dak. Just bench him. It's over with. It's done with. If we lose to New England, I will
Steve said right now Dak's a pellet gunslinger.
I will probably, I honestly, I'm not joking when I say this, guys. I will probably be done with professional football if the Cowboys lose this weekend. And that's no disrespect to New England. Mac Jones has historically played great against us. I'm just saying he has historically played pretty good against us. So we definitely need to step up, because it's not going to get easy after New England.
So if you guys lose New England, are you like me and you're just done for this year? Bring on 2024.
So here's the thing. Look where we go to the week after. Which, by the way, if you dream of going to see a Dallas Cowboy game,
oh my god.
And you're in the San Francisco area, all it's going to cost you is $329.
Woohoo!
New England's $39, but it's probably standing room only. So anyway, we go to San Francisco the week after.
Yeah.
Dak's got to be on. That's going to be the game where it's like, okay, where is this team going to go? Can we get over the stretch? And San Fran is going to be the toughest test that we're going to see between now and probably Philly, which comes up in November. So, I have a little bit of hope, because I don't think that red zone, that cold red zone streak or whatever it is, I don't think it's going to be forever, because but here's the good thing though. And you gotta see some good in this. We're moving the football. That's the good thing. The bad thing is we're not scoring touchdowns. You score field goals in the red zone, you lose football games. You score touchdowns in the red zone, which I think we had 5 or 6 of them, and we only converted 1 or 2 this past weekend. You lose football games. We've got to convert we converted 1 this past weekend. It was 2 the weekend before. You have to turn those red zone numbers into touchdowns. You turn them into touchdowns, you win by 20. You keep kicking field goals, you see what happens here. You're playing from behind the entire football game, and that's exactly what we did this past weekend. And he didn't even put up bad numbers. I mean, 249 passing yards in the NFL is not completely horrible. Pollard had 122 rushing yards. That's not completely horrible. We did not put up completely horrible numbers, but you have to score. Moving the football is one thing, scoring is the other. You can move the football all you want to. You see it all the time in college. You see like someone like Arkansas, for example. Last week, Arkansas had over 400 yards of offense. BYU didn't even have 300, and we still got beat. Why? Because we didn't score. It's the same exact thing in the NFL, except it's professional football. You've got to score, period, and it's got to be touchdowns. You cannot keep kicking field goals and expect to have a successful season.
Yeah, I agree 100%. One thing Steve said in chat is they're missing Zeke. Zeke is missing Zeke.
No.
Zeke is missing Zeke. Zeke's been washed up since he signed that contract.
We are not missing Zeke. We have not missed Zeke since he signed that contract. So just letting y'all know.
Like I said, Zeke is missing Zeke, my guy. Zeke looks in the mirror. She's like, what happened to me? Like, where's that dog that was in there before?
Yeah, exactly.
Like Zeke's missing Zeke. No, I mean, like you're right. You got to score in the red zone, man. If you're just kicking field goals, you're gonna lose.
And that's their biggest thing. They got to score in the red zone. That's the one thing. And it's one. And I know it's a lot to say and a lot to do, but that's the one key that they're missing right now is they're not scoring in the red zone. Move the football like crazy. They move it like crazy. Tony Pollard has been a beast so far, and he's had some help. But Tony Pollard's doing it so far. I'm just saying he's been all right.
Steve said Zeke's doing his best Eddie Lacy impression. That's true. That is true, man. Man, shout out to Eddie Lacy. He came onto the scene for like one good year in Green Bay.
I swear if Zeke breaks out for 200 yards this week, I'm done.
Oh, yeah, that's the moment. That's it. That's done at that moment. No, I mean, seriously, though, what the fuck are the Cardinals, dude? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know who their quarterback is. That's Josh Dobbs, man.
Oh man.
Like, what is how do you lose to Arizona? I don't know, God.
It was bound to happen.
It was. I mean,
was
Cardinals.
Bound to happen.
Give them props. They're fighting and clawing every week so far. I give them props to that, man. Eagles have looked pretty. They're not the same team. I think they're really feeling the effect of not having their coordinators. They have not looked like the same team offensively. Like they're kind of getting some. They're working on some things. They're winning. They're 3-0, but they're getting some things together. Bengals looked rough last night, man. And Joe Burrow, he should not have come back. I mean, you could see it. Last night's game. And that's the reports around Cincinnati is that he's feeling some pain today. The Bengals are kind of working on it. Chargers don't know what's going on with them. I mean, it was a good fought game. I mean, Justin Herbert for 400 yards, 3 tuds, but the Chargers were 0-2 going into that. But man, the Dolphins, it's hard not to look at the Dolphins and consider them like a Super Bowl favorite right now. With how Tua's playing, Tyreek's playing unbelievable, Achan's playing unbelievable. It's Achan, not A-Chain. He wanted everyone to specify that now that he's getting like into the limelight of people. People didn't really pay attention to him before, but it's Devon A-Chain, not Devon. Which I have no disrespect to that. Like, hey, if you want your name to be pronounced correctly, that's fucking fine. But yeah, I mean, the Dolphins, man, dude, I mean, it's hard not to consider them like a Super Bowl favorite right now. They looked unfreaking believable this past weekend. But then also, the most important thing to shout out from this past weekend, Minshew Mania is running wild. Minshew Mania. He's running wild out of the back of the end zone. He's now joined.
Besides that one goof up, he actually had a good game.
He did 227 yards and a tud, no picks. I mean, he doesn't turn the ball over much. He really doesn't.
So I want to point out something before we get there. So the last team who scored 70 in a football game, don't you? The 1966 Washington. Well, they were Redskins back then, which they are fighting to get the Redskins name back.
I saw that.
I will put it this way: that team finished 7-7. So I'm just letting y'all know, scoring 70 in a football game is great, but but I do agree though that Miami team, gosh, they're so good.
I know they are so damn good, and that was without Waddle too. You know what I mean? Like that's insane. One other thing to look at about how this NFL season's going just a few weeks in, which is kind of funny to look at, is that arguably the Panthers are almost better off to not play Bryce Young.
Yeah.
Like Andy Dalton put up 361 fucking yards and 2 tuds.
Yeah.
Adam Thielen, 11 catches, 145 and a tud. They lost still. But Andy Dalton, man, the Red Rocket is slinging it.
But also that tells you right there, NFL experience means everything.
It matters.
And Andy Dalton, even though I thought he should have retired last year, if not the year before, shout out to him. He's still playing, as a backup and everything like that.
Yeah, Steve, go if you want to go ahead and hop in. I'm in the public server. I won't switch the screens though because I don't have the Discord thing set up here for OBS right now.
Anyway, shout out to him that he's still playing and everything like that. But that tells you right there he has enough experience. When you bring rookies in like a Bryce Young. I know C.J. Stroud's playing very well. Justin Fields, rookies who have. Well, of course, Justin Fields is not a rookie. I'm just making a point. You've got to give them some backup time before just throwing them in an NFL football game, saying, "Hey, this is your team."
We do have Steve here. What up, Steve?
What up, boys? Hey, so I want to say something about the Dolphins real quick.
All right.
My prediction right now on September 26th, 2023. The Dolphins are going to be the same thing as the Warriors in the NBA from a few years ago. They're going to be nasty up until they come up against a team in the playoffs or potentially the Super Bowl that is going to dumpster them. I'm calling it right now.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. Just I mean, that is the one thing though, is that they played the Denver Broncos. They didn't play anybody. It scored 70 on them. And that's the thing, I think Russell Wilson even threw for over 300 yards in that game. He had one touchdown and an interception, but it's not like he played completely horrible. But that defense is just terrible.
Yeah, he did. He passed for 306.
I'm telling you, I honestly believe like Kansas City will in the playoffs not blow them out, but they'll beat them. Cincinnati, if they get their shit together, will beat them.
I think Cincinnati is. I think they're dead for the year.
I wouldn't say.
I think
that's my prediction. I think Cincy's dead for the year. They'll make it to the playoffs.
I think Cincy's dead for the year
I think
too.
they're going to be like one and done in the playoffs.
I mean, they could.
But I honestly,
because I
have no faith. No faith. Sorry, Ricky. Go ahead.
No, you're good. No, I was going to say the one thing that's hurting right now, of course, is obviously Joe Burrow, but a calf injury, guys, that hurts so much. I've been hit hard in the calf before, and it hurts so much. It takes weeks, if not months, just to even get the right feeling in again just from walking. I mean, it hurts so bad. I'd rather break an ankle than hurt my calf. I promise you that.
That's a take. Even Steve's was like, "What?"
Hey, let me hit you in the calf a few times. I promise you that crap hurts. I promise you.
So here's the one other thing too before I get out of here because I got to get back to work. I'm still not sold on Tua staying healthy.
That's fair.
That is fair.
Yeah.
We're only 3 weeks into the season.
Yep.
He hasn't been hit all that much. What's going to happen when we get into the dog days of the season? November, December, playing in cold areas, the weather starts getting bad, rain, and he starts getting hit more. And all these hits they're just gonna collect over time. And before we know it, there it is, Tua's noodles just gone soft again, overboiled. He ain't al dente anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Now here's something else though. He's not really gonna play a great defense until, let me look here. The Eagles' defense isn't terrific. They played great last night, but that was against the Bucks. I'm not giving them that much of a shout out, but they really haven't looked too great so far defensively. The Patriots' defense looks okay, but until they play the Chiefs, though, I think that's going to be their biggest test of the year so far. Is when they, don't get me wrong, the Eagles are going to give them a push, but I'm talking about like defensive wise, the Chiefs' defense is actually pretty damn good. But that is the thing, and I do agree. That's a fair take there. He's got to stay healthy in order for them to be able to do this. Who is their backup quarterback?
Mike
anyway?
Big Dick White, baby.
The Dolphins might actually be okay.
Yeah, hey, he went 2 for 2, 67 yards in a tud, baby. Perfect passer rating this weekend. Let's go.
So, hey, I got a quick question for you guys. So, the Dolphins have played the Broncos and who else? The Chargers?
Yeah, the Chargers.
They played the Chargers and the Patriots already.
Yep.
They beat the Patriots by a touchdown in New England.
So here's my question though. Again, another reason why I have no faith. I mean, everybody's riding the Dolphins train right now.
I am.
I want to see when they play a team that can legitimately run the ball, that will keep that offense off the field.
They only beat the Chargers.
That's what I want to see.
They only beat the Chargers by 2, but the Chargers' defense is terrible.
Based on their schedule,
Chargers defense terrible.
In my opinion, the next matchup where that could be a thing is honestly versus your team, versus the Eagles. If DeAndre Swift keeps playing the way that he's been playing, it could be there. And then after that, I would say honestly Tennessee, which Tennessee stinks. So I don't think that's much of a matchup, but you still got Derrick Henry back there.
Yeah.
Oh, the Jets.
But anyway,
Jets,
that's all I had to say, boys. I got to get back to work.
So.
You guys enjoy the rest of your evening.
All right, dude.
And I'll tune in here and there when I can.
All right, man.
Later, boys.
Later.
That's
a good point, though.
That is a very good point.
If that's the case, like I said, the Eagles, Titans, and even the Jets, because Breece Hall's been popping. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing, though. And
Cowboys, Tony Pollard.
They're still slowly getting Breece Hall back, though. I mean, that's what they need to do. Especially, he was a rookie last year, was doing very well, and then he got hurt.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, I'm on the Dolphins train right now, and this weekend will be a pretty big matchup, or it's a noon game as well at Buffalo. That's a pretty big deal, because that's the team that's been running the AFC
Wouldn't surprise
East.
me if Buffalo wins that game.
It wouldn't surprise me either. It wouldn't surprise me either way.
But that is the thing. Buffalo can't run the football. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. No, I mean, whenever it comes to the pros right now, I'm just looking forward to big games. Like that's all I'm looking for. Bears, fuck them. I don't give a shit. I may not watch a Bears game the rest of the year.
You don't want to spend $37 to go watch a Bears game
I'm
in
good.
Cleveland?
I'm perfectly
Don't you
fine.
want to do that on vacation?
I'm good. I'm going to go enjoy my vacation. All right. Well, anything else we want to shout out about NFL? If not, we can hop over to college, touch on some of the stuff that happened over there. We're an hour and 7 in, so we can touch on some college stuff. But any other pro stuff we want to shout out?
No, man. I mean, I think we hollered some of the big stuff.
Hey,
that happened. I mean, shout out to Houston for a good win. I think I gave that shout out earlier, but
shout out to CJ Stroud. Man, he's on a run right now, which I love to see that, dude. But then also, we already mentioned about, I want to first shout out to Minshew Mania, baby.
Minshew Mania.
Love it. He joined an exclusive club though, the Dan Orlovsky Club, along with Jimmy Garoppolo. So got 3 guys in history to actually step out of the back of the end zone. But even if that's the case, still came out with the dub, baby. I love to see it, man. I really hope Minshew gets another opportunity after this season somewhere else to maybe be a starter again. And actually be a starter. Because whenever he was a starter for the Jaguars, he was not a bad starter for us. You know what I mean? He actually played really well. I mean, his first year for us, people forget, man, he had a 60% completion. That's not great, but it's still pretty solid. 3,200 yards, 21 TDs, 6 interceptions. I mean, he had a pretty good year.
They are favored to beat the Rams this week.
Yeah. Man,
Matt Stafford, golly, he has no offensive line.
No, he doesn't.
No offensive line whatsoever.
No, that was the biggest thing they had to replace after they won the Super Bowl, because Andrew Whitworth was retiring and stuff like that, and they just haven't done it. So anyway, let's hop over to college. So the first game that I want to shout out, because this is, of course, a game with me and Jacob here, the Oregon State-Washington State game. Shout out to Washington State coming out with that dub, 38-35. This is such an interesting rivalry because it's a rivalry, but there's no hate, man. It's just good vibes. You know what I mean? Because it's the way I've seen it on Twitter and stuff is both these teams are shafted with this whole Pac-2 thing going on right now. And it's just they're a rivalry, but it's just hey man, you're good, cool, you're good too. All right, bet, let's have a good game, bro. It's just a friendly rivalry. Yep. It's just fun, man. But no, Cameron Ward's on fire right now. 404 yards there, 4 tuds. Miami got a win handedly, as they should have. They looked the way they should have looked. Man, Georgia letting 21 up on them from UAB was kind of wild in my opinion. Didn't expect that. Had a thriller with Florida State and Clemson. Florida State got tested.
They did.
This was a game.
I knew they would. I mean, you're in Clemson. I mean, they're going to defend their home turf.
Coming into this year, I mean, there was 2 games that we looked at for Florida State's schedule, LSU and Clemson. It's if they can get past those, the rest of the year for the most part should be smooth sailing. But I don't know, man. Now we have Miami's looking like how they should. That could be a challenge for them at Miami. Here at the end of the year, and then Florida State's got to go to the Swamp.
Yeah, and that's always a tough game.
Yeah. But man, Ohio State Notre Dame though, that was a game.
That was a football game. And listen, I'm actually gonna touch base on something real quick because Ryan Day's an idiot. Oh my gosh, I don't know if he's a bigger idiot than Notre Dame for having 10 players on the field, but
Notre Dame, man, 10 players on the field or 2 plays in a row. Jesus Christ.
Oh goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Where do I start here? Okay, Lou Holtz.
Yeah. The Lou and Lou conversation was amazing.
Listen. I know Lou Holtz isn't going to listen to this, but if Lou Holtz does listen to this, I'm just going to say something about Lou Holtz real quick. Lou Holtz is a national champion coach.
Yep.
Everything he said about Ohio State was absolutely on point and accurate. But stop acting like Notre Dame is a great football program. They're still a good football program, but they haven't done nothing since they lost in the national championship game to Alabama, whenever that was, 2012, 2011, 2012, something like that.
Around there.
So anyway, Ryan Day. Oh my gosh, you're such an idiot. Everything he said about your football team was true. You beat a good football team. You did not beat a great football team. I will happily admit, yes, I was somewhat on the Notre Dame bandwagon, but I'm also not delusional because they're one of those teams that still just got put together all of a sudden. And it doesn't get easier for Notre Dame, by the way. They got to play Duke at Duke this week. So I'm just letting y'all know, shout out to Duke. Duke could beat them. But dude, Why would you call out a coach who has done something you haven't done, which is win a national champion? All he said was, when it comes to the big stage, your team is not physical enough. And he's absolutely correct. It's the reason you didn't beat Michigan. It's the reason you haven't won a championship. And it's going to be the exact same reason you're going to lose to Michigan again this year, and you're not going to win a championship this year.
I'm going to let you and Jacob take that up next week.
That's perfectly fine. Let me and Jacob, and that's the thing. And that's the one thing I hate about this, is that Jacob is not on here.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, and I would tell Jacob the same exact thing. Notre Dame is a good football team. They are better this year than what they were last year. They actually have a quarterback this year. I will give them that much. And defensively, both teams look great defensively. Both teams look terrific defensively. The one thing that hurt Notre Dame, though, they played very, very conservative offensively the entire football game. And that's what really hurt them. They did not let Hartman sling it as much as what I thought they should have. They did not run that. They really didn't threaten Ohio State offensively at all. And that's why they lost the football game. But that's the thing that, man, Ryan, just shut up. Seriously, just shut up. Just stop talking. Don't when you go to the press conferences, just do what any other coach does. Be like, yeah, we played a good football team. Hats off to them. Not this whole hype up. Yeah, we got a physical football team now. No, you don't. You still suck. Next.
Wow. I'll let you and Jacob take that.
That's fine. Let me and Jacob take that.
No, I think in terms of college, I think the biggest wow moment of this weekend is the fact that Colorado got completely blown out. Me and you said up front Oregon was going to win, but we thought it'd be a lot closer.
I thought it'd be a lot closer too. They could not move the football.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Let's go,
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
I'm waiting.
He's coming in hot with COVID.
I'm waiting. I hope I didn't run your fever up to anymore, my man. That's not what I meant. But Jacob, I will stand by what I said. Notre Dame is a good football team. They're not a great football team. I can name a list of teams who have beat them over the last decade that they shouldn't have lost to. Do you remember? Who was it they lost to? Was that Marshall they lost to last year?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was Marshall, okay? I'm just saying, it's not a great win. It's a good win. Props to Ohio State for the good win, but no, it's not. All right. I'm waiting. I'm not on the chat, so I can't really see it. Let me get on the chat.
No. He's in the call.
Oh, he's in the call.
In the call.
All right. Hey, see. Hey, listen, man. Listen. Hear me out. Okay, let me hear you out first. I'm going to hear you out first. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Say what you're going to say, and then I'll go.
All I'm saying is that Lou Holtz was absolutely correct, and there's nothing you can say to prove me wrong or him wrong. And I will say this. Notre Dame is a good football team, but they haven't done nothing in the last decade. There's nothing. It's a big win. I will give them that much because they don't have really another big game till they play Penn State, and then they have Michigan later on down in the year. But I'm telling you, in whole, this was not a great win.
No, honestly, I kind of will agree with you.
Man, that's not what I expected.
I didn't expect that either.
I thought he was going to come in swinging with his COVID talk.
Exactly. I thought his favor was going to go. I thought his favor spiked just now, which is not my intentions, my friend. That's not my intentions whatsoever.
No, honestly, and I said this yesterday to my grandfather who I watched the game with. It's a tainted win, in my opinion. And it sucks because that game was a good defensive battle for both teams who just could not get the ball rolling much when they needed to on offense. But just Notre Dame not having a full team or full defense for the last two plays of the game just makes it a tainted win, in my opinion.
I can't believe that happened.
Yeah, that's
two plays in a row.
Exactly, and that comes down. It comes down to coaching and everything like that. And that's the thing too. And that's the thing. Like, you know, usually as an official, I notice things like that. I didn't even notice it. Like, I didn't notice it until they called it out. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Because I'm like, why would they have so many players on one side and only 3 on the other? They've got to have 10 players on the field. And let it below, they had 10 players on the field. I'm like, oh my gosh.
The biggest moment of the game, and you fuck up that. You know what I mean? All things you're going to fuck up.
I don't know if it was already stated or not, but there is a reason why Notre Dame only fell 2 spots.
We didn't state.
And I think this Notre Dame team is held in the highest of regards as one of the best teams in the country.
Well, how
and
Sam
I do
Hartman's
believe even with
I'm
one
with
loss
that.
and not having a conference championship, I do think this team could still make the playoffs.
And I agree. And I think you know, one thing that me and Brad, we recorded on Sunday night, and I'm just going to go ahead and state it for the record here. There's a possibility we don't see an SEC team in. Because here's, you know, and I know that's hard to say.
Yeah, because of Georgia.
But Georgia is not, to me, Georgia is not that good. There's nothing impressive. Georgia's got a good defense, but obviously their defense is score. I mean, they've had some teams that have scored a lot on that shouldn't be scoring a whole lot of points on them.
But South Carolina, UAB. I mean, first 2 weeks you can just give those easy passes. UT Martin and Ball State, but like, you know, now they're starting to get tested by some other squad. UAB shouldn't have been a test.
No.
And they really weren't. But like at the same time, you still let up 21. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's
now I will say this much, Jacob, and I will completely agree with you that Notre Dame could be a one-loss team in the top 4, but Ohio State has to win the conference for that to happen. They're not going to put a one-loss Notre Dame team on top of an Ohio State team that beat them head-to-head. And that's if Ohio State gets only one loss. Now, you can make the argument if they ended up getting 2 or 3 losses, which I don't think is going to happen. I mean, I see a max of 2 at this point. But at the same time, I don't. If they each have 1 loss, they're not putting them above Ohio State. And I think you just have to see. I think we just need to see what happens for the rest of college. We have a ton of college football left. There are a ton of games that are going to be happening over the next 2 weeks that are going to really change a lot of things.
Listen, there's a person who watches this show weekly, who I'm about to make very happy by saying this statement. I am not going to be surprised at all if Penn State wins the Big Ten this year.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to be honest with you.
Out of the top 3 teams in the Big Ten, they are playing the best overall football.
I will agree to that. I will agree to that. It would not surprise me one bit.
Shout out to Tyler. No, they are playing some incredible I mean, the level that they shut out Iowa was impressive. Like, I know Iowa's not meant for their offense or anything. I get that. But it's like Iowa's offense still has an improvement this year compared to what it's been. And just like the level of domination that Penn State put on him. I mean, Cade he went 5 for 14. Like, he went 5 for 14. Like, that's pathetic. The team had 20 rushing yards. Like, like what? No, I mean, like, Drew Aller is everything that Tyler ever made him out to be. I mean, the team is running on all cylinders right now. Like, no, like, seriously, like, right now, like, we were kind of sleeping on Penn State in our picks. Like, we thought they'd be good, but we thought that they would still lose the big games. I mean, here in a few weeks, boys, we got, you know, at Ohio State. If Penn State gets that win, Jacob, man, I think Penn State's I think they could potentially win the Big Ten.
Yeah, if it comes down to it, as of right now, it's looking like Penn State will be the representative for the Big Ten in the playoffs.
Could be.
I mean,
Michigan
has
I'm
looked
telling you,
mid
I
as hell,
told y'all over the summer, and I told y'all at the beginning of the football season, this is going to be one weird season. And I honestly believe, I truly believe this, because I don't think LSU's good enough. I think they're good enough to run the table in the West. But at the same time, it's like, there's so much about them. There's so many gaps that they have that I'm like, I don't see them running the table this year. And I definitely don't see Georgia running the table. I just don't.
Georgia's got a pretty tough 3-game stretch coming up, but the thing is that's in their favor is that all 3 games are at home, which is crap.
Right.
I mean, when I say coming up, I mean it's like, you know, end of October and November. You have versus Florida, versus Missouri, versus Ole Miss, and then after that you go to Tennessee, which we all said during our predictions that could be a game we could see them lose, just because they could be sleeping at that point. But Tennessee has not looked incredible either. Tennessee has looked very meh. But no, I mean, like, Georgia, in my opinion, will still go 12-0, but I think it wouldn't shock me at this point with how Georgia's played the last couple weeks, where it's just not just complete and utter domination, where it wouldn't shock me if Georgia ends up getting an L somewhere. But no, like,
I have more faith Washington State making it to the playoffs this year and winning the Pac-12 than I do Ohio State making the playoffs.
Hey, man, Cam Ward's playing out of his fucking mind.
He's currently right now, I mean, no bias intended, but he is probably the best quarterback in the country right now, aside from Bo Nix.
I would
think
say
the Pac-12 has amazing quarterbacks.
The only
right
guy
now.
that I would argue, actually, I would argue Phoenix Jr. Because one random thing that I put together today, just for shits and giggles, is I did put together my personal Heisman ranks so far. I got 10 players ranked for you. I only gave stats for the top 5. Number 1 right now for me would be Phoenix Jr. 74.6 completion, 1,600 yards, 16 TDs, 2 picks. Number 2, I would still put Caleb Williams right now. 74.3% completion, 1,200 yards, 15 TDs, no picks. Cam Ward, I have at 3. 74.6 completion, 1,300 yards, almost 1,400, 13 TDs, no picks. Number 4, I put Hartman, 70% completion, 1,200 yards, 14 tuds, no picks. 5, Sanders, 76.9 completion, 1,400 yards, 11 TDs, 1 pick. And then 6, Bo Nix, 7, Hunter, 8, Gabriel, 9, S-Time, I think that's how you pronounce the last name, the running back out of Notre Dame, and 10, I'd put Van Dyke. That's my top 10 Heisman as of right now. Obviously, will change dramatically over just the next few weeks, but that's mine. That's my top 10 at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I mean Cam Ward. I mean he's up there. Like you know what I mean. Like he's top 3 right now in my opinion. Like you know, like, I think the margin from 1, 2, and 3 of that I just named is like razor fucking thin. So when I say Cam Ward at 3, I mean no disrespect. Like it's so razor thin. It's basically a piece of paper between the 3 of them. Like which is so funny because it's like they're all Pac. You know what I mean? And I have another Pac guy in the top 5 with Sanders, and another Pac guy with Bo Nix, and it's just like now the Pac's dead. The Pac's dead after this year.
And the Pac's actually pretty competitive right now. That's
I know.
the sad part.
Yeah, I know.
That's the sad part.
I know, and the Pac's dead after this year, which sucks. It's the Pac 2.
Went out with a bang. Yeah, and the Pac-2 champion, Washington State.
There you go.
No, good win against the Beavs this weekend, Jacob. Unfortunate for the Beavs. I picked the Beavs in the poll, you know, because it's the Beavs. You know, you're a Cougs fan, I'm a Beavs fan, but I knew deep down we were gonna lose, just for the simple fact of this. Cam Ward looks unfucking believable, and DJ Uiagalelei, he looks okay every once in a while. Like
yeah,
that's basically what it came down to, is that I thought Cam Ward was going to throw all over us, and he did. 404 yards, 4 tuds. You know, it is what it is. Anyway, so what other games of college do we want to talk about? Do you want to talk about Arkansas, or do you want to let that one slide?
No.
All right, moving on.
Sick of these moral victories. Arkansas fans, there's no such thing as moral victories. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Can we talk about the Florida State Clemson game?
Yeah,
is Clemson better than what we expected, or is Florida State not as good? Are they finally coming back down to earth?
I think it's the latter. I think it's the latter of what you said. I think we're seeing some cracks in the armor.
Yeah, I think when you have a team that has have a team like Florida State, they have really, really high expectations. I mean, yeah, you're gonna see some testing early on, but I mean, here's the thing. It doesn't. When you're in conference play, being on the road in conference play is totally different than being on the road for like a non-conference game or anything like that. It's totally different because you're playing against teams who know you better than any other team in the country. And when you look at Florida State Clemson over the years, that has been the actual rival going back and forth in the ACC as Florida State and Clemson. So it doesn't surprise me that Clemson put up a fight. No, it doesn't surprise me at all. But there's more to come with Florida State. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, but I mean that's 2 games in a row now where the game has been decided by less than a touchdown.
Yeah,
or a touchdown.
And
or
the
less.
Boston College
last
one,
week, it was a couple
shocking.
points against Boston College, which it should not happen.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like I said, and it's like it's like Alex said though. There's some cracks in there. Whether they fix those cracks or not, I don't know. But all I know is when you put a bunch of college students together, and I don't care how old you are, and you have such high expectations that you're afraid to screw up those high expectations, that's when things crack down. Now that's the thing that tests you the most when in college football. Even some of the greater teams that you've seen, Alabama, LSU, even Ohio State, when they were winning national championships. All these teams that you've seen that have won national championship games, they've always had a game or so where they just get completely tested by a team that should not beat them. And sometimes they've won them by like a little stretch, and sometimes they've gotten beat. It's just part of it. It's college football.
One thing I'd also like to point out, Ole Miss is as big of a disappointment as they always have been and always will be.
Man, I was really hoping there.
Yeah, because they could lose again this weekend.
Yeah, I know that was because Alabama's not good, guys. Like let's establish that they're not.
I know one team they're better than.
Yeah, Arkansas.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah, we're gonna lose for the 18th time in a row.
Yeah,
that's in 3 weeks, gentlemen.
Yep. Good luck to you.
Yeah. Not looking forward to it.
Yeah. Good luck to you. Good luck to you. I'm scrolling the list of college games. Do you guys have anything else you want to shout out with college stuff? One thing I do want to shout out to Jacksonville State. First year in FBS play. They're currently, I think, 3-1? I saw. I mean, hey, they're getting it together. Old Rich Rod, I think, is the coach, right? Former West Virginia.
I think you're right.
Former West Virginia coach that had Pat White and almost led them to a championship, and former Michigan coach as well. I think it's Rich Rod's the coach, but I mean, hey, they're getting it done. I mean, they're not gonna be amazing, but hey, they're scoring points. They're doing what they got to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and Utah and UCLA had an old school 14-7 game. Golly.
Fucking Old Dominion wins 10-9 versus Texas A&M.
Yeah, Old Dominion. Oh gosh, that's terrible.
Commerce, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing though. The Texas A&M Commerce hadn't won a game yet.
Like that's bad, dude. But also one thing that I wanted to shout out, because we do like to chat about some Sun Belt play on this show. Shout out to Georgia State, man. Look at that. 4-0 right now. Beat Coastal Carolina this past weekend. Georgia State, man, they're on it right now. So big shout out to that. Them and James Madison and Marshall, the only undefeated teams in the Sun Belt right now. So big shout out to that. You boys got anything else college-wise that we need to shout out, talk about, anything of the sort?
Nah, man, let's get to picks.
Go Bows, baby. Go Bows. I will say with the Bows, I already kind of mentioned earlier in passing, but Braden Traeger, I mean, he's 4th in the nation right now in passing yards, 12 tuds. We just got to bring that interception down, man. We're at 6 picks. Bring that down, and I think he's a junior, so we got another year with him. I think senior year, I think he could be a silently good quarterback over in the Mountain West. So I'm looking forward to that. All right, wait, which one am I on? I don't know what I'm on. We're gonna do college first.
Sweet.
Yeah, we're gonna do college first. Let me turn this down over here. Turn on some music. Get some classic tunes going. The classic intro. So Jeb, you sticking around for picks?
Might as well.
All right, bet. Let's knock this out then. All right, so first up, Louisville and NC State.
Louisville's still undefeated. They've played some really good football. North Carolina State has shown some struggles. Give me Louisville.
Okay.
Second that.
Give me Louisville as well. Utah and Oregon State.
Duh, this one's tough. This one's tough.
I want to pick the Beavs, but for the sake
of I'm leaning more toward Utah than I am the Beavs.
Give me Utah for the sake of the picks. Give me Utah. Tyler's talking too much shit, so I gotta pick it with my brain, not my heart. Cincinnati and BYU.
I'll take BYU.
Since it's at home,
I'll go BYU as well.
I think I'll do BYU. Louisiana and Minnesota. Give me the Golden Gophers on this one.
Same.
Yeah, this one could get interesting, but I think Minnesota is going to be a little bit better on the defensive front. I'll take Minnesota.
Texas A&M and Arkansas.
Skip this one. Please skip it. Why are we calling this out? Why are we still having Arkansas games on the show? I thought we established this rule.
2 reasons. 1, I love pissing you off. 2, I love picking rivalry games.
Texas A&M will win again.
Texas A&M.
Yep.
All right, Clemson and Syracuse. This one's kind of an interesting one, honestly.
Yeah, this would put Clemson under 500 if they lose this game. Syracuse looks pretty good so far. I trust Syracuse offense more than I do Clemson's defense. Give me Syracuse.
I think I'm going to rock with Clemson.
Yeah, I'll go with Clemson.
USC and Colorado. Give me USC.
I want to pick Colorado so bad. I want to pick Colorado.
I hope this is a bounce back game where they at least look better.
Yeah, and I if they can make it competitive, I think. But hey, I will put it this way. I did watch USC and Arizona State play. Arizona State made it competitive, for crying out loud. Come on, prime time. USC wins.
Yeah, this is going to be another blowout. It might be a worse blowout, in my opinion. I'm going USC.
Oh, worse blowout.
Okay.
Man. All right, South Bama and James Madison. Give me James Madison, baby.
I've been very high on South Alabama, but they have not looked as good as James Madison. I'll take James Madison.
All right, Florida and Kentucky.
Give me Kentucky. Florida's offense is just depleted right now. Florida is just so inconsistent. It's not even funny. I'll take Kentucky.
Yeah, give me Kentucky. I don't understand why Florida's even in the top 25 to begin with. I mean, they barely beat Charlotte last week, so.
Give me Kentucky. Eastern Michigan and Central Michigan.
Central Michigan had a big dub last week. They beat South Alabama last week. Give me Central Michigan.
Yep, Central Michigan is probably going to be the one ranked MAC team this year.
Give me CMU, baby. Wagner and Rutgers. Give me Rutgers.
Why is this game on here?
I don't know. Someone picked this one. I don't know who it was. Was that you, Jacob?
No comment.
Is Jake? Okay, hang on. Are you picking Wagner to win this game?
I am.
Wow.
Give me Wagner, baby. Give me Wagner. I'm going to take it. Give me Wagner.
No, I'm going with the Scarlet Knights. All right, next up, skip it down a few. LSU and Ole Miss.
Give me LSU. Ole Miss can't
give
win
me
a
LSU.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
All right, Coastal Carolina and Georgia Southern. I'm kind of torn on this one. How are you guys feeling about it? My instincts tells me Georgia Southern, but I don't know.
My instincts tell me Georgia Southern, but I have other instincts that tell me Coastal Carolina could bounce back from this one.
Yeah.
Give me Coastal Carolina.
I unfortunately think they're not going to bounce back. I'm going Georgia Southern on this one.
First thought, best thought. Give me Georgia Southern. Troy and Georgia State. Give me Georgia State.
I'd say they had a big win last week. Troy also looks really good. Oh my gosh. Give me Troy.
Be Troy.
Iowa State and Oklahoma. Give me Oklahoma.
I really want to pick Iowa State to win this game. If you look in the past, decade or so, Iowa State usually makes us a pretty good football game. But there's one thing Iowa State does not have, and that's defense. Give me Oklahoma.
Yeah, Iowa State lost to the Bobcats a few weeks ago. They are not going to win against Oklahoma. Give me the Sooners.
All right, next up, South Carolina and Tennessee.
Of course, I think this is Tennessee's first conference game since losing to Florida.
I think so.
They're at home. South Carolina usually bounces back, though, pretty close to about this time of the year. But I don't think they're as good as Tennessee. Give me Tennessee.
Yep, same.
Tyler has popped in chat saying Mac Nation. Tyler, I'll have you know that earlier in the show, Jacob saying big praise about your Penn State Nittany Lions. So make sure to go listen to that. He even gave you a shout out for it. So for
You're
this
welcome.
game, I'm going South Carolina, and I have a reason why. So my boss, my boss is based out of Knoxville, and he is a massive Tennessee fan, and I was just talking up to him. South Carolina's a lot better than people give him credit for.
You're making your picks to piss people off. I like it. Yeah, you pissed me off with all your picks.
He is adamant that South Carolina is garbage and stuff. He's like, if Tennessee loses to South Carolina, this season's done. And I'm just like, hey, watch, baby. Gamecock. The way I told my boss is like, Shane's Cocks are coming running for you, man. Just watch out. So give me South Carolina Gamecocks, baby. Next up, Notre Dame and Duke.
I'm torn between this one, guys.
I'm going to go Notre Dame. I'm going to believe in Sam Hartman and the bounce back.
Yeah, because, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, he never lost to Duke at Wake Forest, did he?
No, I don't think so.
I think Duke makes it competitive, but I don't know. I don't know. I want to pick Duke because if I'm not mistaken, Notre Dame, when they lost last year, it went downhill pretty quick.
I think so.
Give me Notre Dame.
Yeah, when they lost last year, it did go downhill pretty quick, but that was mainly because they really didn't have good leadership as far as the quarterback position goes and coaching staff goes. Still first-year head coach last year, so I think they'll bounce back this week. I think Duke is going to make it very competitive, though. I think it'll be a pretty close game.
I think it will be too.
Okay.
All right, next up, FBS game of the week. We've got Kansas and Texas. Kansas, who, of course, got the big dub over Texas last year, I believe. So who we got on this one? I'm feeling the Longhorns on this. They just look like a different level. They've shown a few weaknesses here or there, like versus Rice, for example. But I think this is going to be a really good game, honestly. But I got Texas winning it.
I also have Texas winning it. I just think Texas is more of a complete team than what Kansas is.
I agree.
All right, next up, FCS game of the week. We got Harvard and Holy Cross. I'm going Holy Cross. Holy Cross is one of the best teams in FCS play, but Harvard's a really good team as well. I think that's going to be a great matchup in FCS play this week.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a defensive. Well, I wouldn't say defensive juggernaut because they're both their defenses aren't great. They really haven't really shown a whole lot of defense. They're more of an offensive powerhouse. I'm going to also take Holy Cross based on the fact that Harvard's biggest rivalry is Yale, and they beat the crap out of Yale. And I think Holy Cross could win the Ivy League this year. Give me Holy Cross.
Going with the upset here. Give me Harvard.
Okay, fair.
All right, next up, of course, we have our terrible game of the week presented by ATFS. We have Stony Brook and Maine. I don't know. I'm feeling Maine. I'm feeling. Aren't they the Black Bears?
There's something
I'm feeling
like that.
Maine.
There's something like that. I'm trying to remember. Stony Brook, I think, was one of the. I think Arkansas State played Stony Brook.
I think so. Maybe. I don't know.
I'm wanting.
Give me Maine. I'm locking it in.
I'm wanting to say Arkansas State beat the crap out of them.
Give me Maine then.
I'll take Maine with you.
As will I.
Tyler says facts, so I think we're on the right pace here. All right. Let's get over to NFL. Knock this out real quick. First up, Thursday Night Football, the brand new Lions and the Green Bay Packers. So what do we got here? I'm kind of feeling the Lions, honestly.
Yeah, I'm really feeling the Lions here. Green Bay has actually done way more than what I expected them to do. And even though Green Bay is at home, I'm still high on the Detroit Lions. This is gonna be a good test, though.
Tyler said 31-7 is a beatdown for State now. That's how much they beat Stony. Yeah, that's
that is true.
In Arkansas State language, that's a beatdown.
So yeah.
Go ahead.
No. You're good. I was done.
Oh, okay. So I think that win last week for the Green Bay Packers and for specifically Jordan Love is going to do wonders for them this year. I think that game nails it right there, how good of a quarterback Jordan Love potentially can be. I got the Packers winning this game, and I actually think the Packers could very well win the division this year.
Okay, that's fair enough.
I respect that. I hate it, but I respect it. Next up, we have Atlanta and Jacksonville. Atlanta's looked a lot better, man, than I gave them credit for going in the year. Bijan Robinson's a freaking monster. But I'm going to believe in the Jags, and I'm going to believe in a bounce back. Give me Jacksonville.
Yeah, I'm also going to believe in the bounce back this week as well.
Who is going to be calling the plays for the offensive side of the ball for Jacksonville? Is Doug Peterson giving away the reins again, or?
I think so.
Then I'm taking Atlanta.
Okay.
Pittsburgh at Houston.
Pittsburgh should win this game, even though C.J. Stroud has looked very, very phenomenal. Pittsburgh, I'm trying to remember because I did catch the glimpse of that game that they played the other night. I know Houston won big. I'm torn on this one. Give me Houston.
Jacob.
I'm torn on this one.
Tyler said in chat, Jacob, don't look, but there's a black cat behind you. Jacob just slowly turned around. Anyway, Jacob, who you got here? Pittsburgh or Houston?
I think CJ Stroud is going to go down as the best Ohio State quarterback to make it to the NFL, and also that's not that big of a hill to climb at all. At all.
It's like a little like single step.
Yeah, pretty well. It's like a baby step to get over everybody besides Justin Fields, and then it's like a little bit bigger of a step to get over him.
Yeah,
I'm taking the Texans here.
Give me the Texans as well, baby. I believe in CJ Stroud right now. All right, the Rams in Indianapolis.
So I'm sorry. The Rams do not have an offensive line whatsoever. Minshew Mania continues.
Give me Minshew Mania, baby. Let's get it. Indianapolis.
Yeah, I'll take Indianapolis as well.
All right, Minnesota and Carolina, both winless teams. I feel like Minnesota will finally get their first win.
Yeah, I'm also going to stick with Minnesota because if they start 0-4, the head gaskets are going to blow like crazy.
I'll say this right now, and I've seen some talk about this. If Minnesota starts 0-4, don't be surprised if legitimate talk comes out with Kirk Cousins getting traded and Minnesota goes for a tank train.
Hey, Kirk, and I'm not going to say it. Never mind.
Where do you think he'd be traded to?
One immediate conversation I've already seen is the Jets.
He would be a one and done.
It would be a one and done.
I don't know.
It would be one and done, but I've already seen some conversation about it.
Would Chicago be crazy? Given
please don't.
Fields has a
Just
concussion.
End our season. I'm done. Don't do anything else to me. Leave me out of this.
Don't give Alex any hope.
Leave me out of this.
Crazy pick here, but I'm taking Carolina.
Red Rocket.
I like it.
All right, Tampa Bay and New Orleans. Not sure the status on Carr. I'm not sure what's going on there. Jameis stinks, so give me Tampa Bay. Give me Baker and the Bucks, baby.
I think New Orleans should win this game at home, though. That's the only thing. They should win this game, but Derek Carr, now I will change this pick if Derek Carr does come back.
Washington and Philly. Give me Philly.
Why are we even Philly?
Okay, listen. I know it might sound crazy, but I think this game will be a lot closer than what a lot of people think it will be.
They're division
I'm
rivals.
still taking Philadelphia, but I would not be shocked if it's like a 3-point difference.
Okay. Miami and Buffalo. Give me the Fins. I'm going to keep riding this train.
I'm torn on this one, too. I really am. But Buffalo... I think Buffalo is going to score a lot more points on their defense than what every team they played. Miami really has not played a great team yet. Buffalo is not great, but they're give me Miami.
Miami played the Chargers week 1.
The Chargers aren't good.
They're better than most.
Yeah, I'll give you that much, but they might be a playoff
Honestly,
team.
I put the Chargers on the same level as what Buffalo's been playing as right now.
That's fair.
I'm going to take Miami here by 17.
Woo!
17?
Woo!
Yep.
Tyler, how you feel
That
about
Miami
that
defense is going to be just lighting up the field because obviously Buffalo doesn't have a running game. So
no,
they gave up 300 passing yards for Russell Wilson. What do you think Josh Allen's going to do? I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
All right, next up we have Cincy and Tennessee. This one's a battle of the crapshoots right now.
Cincinnati should win this football game. I don't know if they're going to.
I feel the same way.
I don't know if they're going to. I don't have that much faith right now in them. I will say this much though. They played a terrible offensive line.
Yep.
Tennessee's offensive line isn't much better than the Rams right now, but they do have a much better running game. Give me Tennessee.
Cincinnati.
Okay.
Give me Cincy. Baltimore and Cleveland. I'm feeling Cleveland. Give me the Browns.
I'm feeling Cleveland too. The Baltimore right now, they have a slew of injuries right now that they're trying to get through. I still think though. I think Lamar Jackson bounces back this week. Give me Baltimore.
Give me the Browns.
Yeah, give me Baltimore too. The Browns aren't going to be good until they get a running game back.
Okay.
And I do not think Kareem Hunt is going to be the answer.
That's fair. All right, Denver, Chicago, Denver.
Next.
Yep. Vegas and Chargers. Give me the Chargers.
Yeah, give me the Chargers.
Yep.
Sorry, I was reading Tyler's comment. Tyler said King Henry going to go off this week. 27 rushing yards and 18 carries.
Yikes.
All right, New England and Dallas. Give me Dallas. Hesitantly, but give me Dallas.
Nobody seems to be talking about how good of football Mac Jones is actually playing right now. His stats across the board are even, if not better, than Jalen Hurts stats this year. I'm going to take New England on this one because I don't know. Dallas just scares me this year.
But here's the thing, though. New England cannot score the football. They score less than Dallas does. I'm taking Dallas.
All right, Arizona, San Fran. Give me the 49ers, but this could be a close game. All right, if Arizona keeps this game close, then Arizona is officially a lot better than we gave them ever credit for.
If this game, Arizona to win like one game this year.
Yeah, if Arizona keeps like within a touchdown, then all the props in the world to that team. Every prop in the world to that team. But
Joshua Dobbs is the guy.
I guess so.
Arizona's defense played really good last week. That's the thing, though. Arizona's defense could keep it interesting. But, yeah, I think San Fran's still going to beat them.
San Fran's a better football team than Dallas is right now. So I'm taking San Francisco.
KC and the Jets. How this was once an incredible matchup is now just a KC beatdown. Give me the Chiefs.
Give me the Jets.
Whoa.
On a rainy day with icy fields. Maybe if Taylor Swift attends a game for a Jets player. No, Kansas City's going to win this game. It ain't going to be close.
Shout out to Joe Namath saying that he's tired of seeing Zach Wilson.
I don't blame him. I was tired of seeing Zach Wilson in college.
Yep.
And watching the Pat McAfee podcast today, yeah, Aaron Rodgers is pissed at Namath and all the other legends and community members and everything coming out against the organization right now. Give me Kansas City, but fuck all those people that are saying bad shit about their own team.
Yeah, see, it's one thing if you be a fan and say about it, but like when you've played for the organization, it's just like it's fair to want to hold them to an accountability standard because like every single week of the season, Lance Briggs puts up his own report card of how the Bears did. And it's totally fair to want your team to be to a better standard. But, like, the Jets, like, I mean, come on. Like, we saw what happened to the Jets in week 1. Like, come on.
Zach Wilson's just a guy.
Yeah,
honestly. He's just a person. He's trying his best, I'm sure. He's no freaking Aaron Rodgers.
He's trying his best.
Cut the man some slack.
It's like I said before. You've got to spend time around veteran quarterbacks. That's why I disagree with all these teams tanking to get these quarterbacks and everything. And C.J. Stroud set aside. But how many quarterbacks have we just seen that have just come out their rookie season and say, "Oh my gosh, this is the guy"? Not many.
Very few.
The last one I remember that made the playoffs, and it's probably been since then. But I remember, RG3 when he came out.
RG3, they made the playoffs.
That is the last time I remember a rookie quarterback. And what did he do? He re-tore his ACL, and he was never the same. All because of the hype. And I always wondered what his career would have been like had he just sat out that year from the ACL injury and come back the next season. I always wondered that.
I would wonder what he'd be like if Mike Shanahan didn't completely botch that, too.
That, too.
Yeah.
True.
Monday Night Football, Seattle and Giants. Give me Seattle.
Yeah, the Giants have not shown me anything yet. They have not shown me anything yet. Seattle's been at least.
It was going to be worse.
Yes.
It was going to be worse. Shout out to Denver and Chicago being flexed out of the Monday night game.
Alex has no comment on that, but he probably agrees with it. That would probably been the lowest rating Monday Night Football game in history had that happened.
I'm tired of this. Like guys, like when I say these words, like I've never meant it more. I'm tired. Like I have never in my life as a sports fan ever reached a point that I'm at right now. Like even in the 13 games of misery of Urban Meyer that felt like 7 years, like even that, like while I was exhausted from it, it's still like my second favorite team. Yeah. But like, with where the Bears are now, like I'm tired. Like,
I thought being an Arkansas Razorback fan was tough.
Like, I'm tired, guys.
I thought it was tough.
I mean, I'm so exhausted. Like, I just, like, at this point, I don't want us to tank and get a quarterback because, like, we've already proven time and time again we can't develop a guy. I want us to go out and get, like, a legitimate veteran. I don't mean a veteran like Jay Cutler, who was okay and, went to one Pro Bowl in Denver when we got him, whatever. No, I'm talking, like, I want, like, a Peyton Manning type of guy. That's the only way the Bears will ever be successful.
They can always bring Peyton Manning out of retirement.
Tyler says, welcome to my life. Hey, man, you've been riding high for a few years, though. I mean, you may be losing the playoffs, but at least you have a competitive team. But I do know what you mean, though. Bills were, oh, buddy. They were a laughing stock there for a while, but I'm tired. Like, I don't give a fuck about pro football right now. It's one of those things as well. It's like I will always be a Bears fan to some capacity. Like I never thought in my life I would ever consider swapping. Like, I never thought that would happen.
That's how I feel about the Lakers, my man.
But
That's how I feel about the Lakers.
I had legitimate thoughts. Like, man, do I just need to like mail it in and just be a Jags fan, number one, Bears fan too? Like, I'll always support the Bears. My mom was a big Bears fan, got me into liking the Bears. She's no longer here, so it helps me feel close to her, kind of thing, you know. But bro, I'm tired. And she would agree with me. She would agree with me, man. Like, I'm just tired, bro. Fuck this shit.
Well, guys, I got to get going to my kids' game.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you do.
Jacob, feel better, man. So me and you can at least do the show next week. And all that good stuff, man. T's and P's. Hope you get feeling better. Y'all have a good week.
Yep. All right, man. You get out of here. I'll close up the show with Jacob here. But yeah, hopefully both of you can take care of the show next week. Because you said you're going to be in Springdale.
I'll be in Springdale, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be able to do the show.
Yeah, bring your box with you and see if and you guys just hold down the show. Like I said, next week I won't be here. I'll be on vacation. If I've got some time, just like last year, I'll pop in, say hello, talk some quick shit, and hop back out. Zach will be here taking care of the stream for me. So you guys just kind of hop into the chat and make sure to everyone stop by, support the boys. It'll be a good show, no doubt. It was a good show last year when I think it was just Ricky and Shane last year. Yeah, you had something pop up. That's right. You guys will put on a good show. I can't wait to listen to it. But Jacob, any last thoughts, my guy?
I had a thought, but I'm not going to do it anymore. There's no sense of beating a dead horse. You're welcome.
Was it me? Was it involving the Bears?
It was involving the Bears.
Thank you. I'm tired. I'm tired to the point that I'm about to like take down all that Bears stuff up there. Like, I'm tired, man. I just don't care.
One of these days, we're gonna have a debate on who has the worst experience, fan base wise, out of our teams. Because I would argue,
out of
yes,
our teams,
Chicago and Jacksonville is just over and over again not successful years. But being a fan of the Dallas Cowboys and not only having to hear the rest of the fan base talk, but also, actually doing good and then subsequently just leading to failure every year is pretty tough too.
Right. Yeah, that's fair. We may have to do a debate one day, to figure that out. I will say, as a grand scheme of things, and like not including just our teams, but all NFL teams, I think the winner still goes to the Browns and the Lions. As
absolutely.
In terms of historical standpoint. But hey, if the Bears keep this up, give it about 10 more years, I think the Bears can be up there. I think the Bears. I mean, for God's sake, we've never even had a 4,000-yard passer. The only team in the league, man. Even Jacksonville, Houston, Carolina, all these newer teams, like they've all had it by now. We haven't. Like, life sucks, man. Anyway, we're gonna wrap this one up. Make sure to go over to Rogue Energy, use our referral link, use promo code 50CAN to get 50% off of cans. Black Cherry Lemonade's phenomenal, and the one that I recommend 100%. Go over to Agent Inc., pick up a jersey because we have the best jerseys on the website by far. Join the Discord. You can come chat with us. Again, I won't be here next week, but the boys will, so make sure to come in next week. Support the boys. Until next time, bye.